2 Corinthians 4:16 to 18. So we do not lose heart, though our outer self is wasting away. Our inner self is being renewed day by day. For this light, momentary affliction is preparing for us an eternal weight of glory beyond all comparison, as we look not to the things that are seen, but to the things that are unseen. For the things that are seen are transient, but the things that are unseen are eternal. No one is more suited to write these words than Apostle Paul. Paul was saved when he was around 24 years of age and was probably martyred when he was around 66. For 42 years, he was under the constant pressures of living out the Christian life. How did he do it? What was his secret? Verse 16a, do not lose heart. What does it mean to lose heart? To be discouraged, dismayed, question, be full of fear and doubt, be faint hearted, and lack the zeal. Why did Paul lose heart? It's because he had a kingdom focus. 2 Corinthians 4:16 he says, though our outer self is wasting away, our inner self is being renewed day by day. We ought to remember we are just jars of clay, but our treasure is on the inside. Paul here says that felt like he was wasting away because he endured so much of suffering. But what we see in verse 16 is that he makes a distinction between his outer man and his inner man. What Paul makes clear is that suffering in the outer man does have to lead us to inner despair. In fact, he goes further and explains that outward suffering can lead to inner renewal. In other words, as we suffer, we must recognize that God can use the difficulties of life to renew us and prepare us for the glory of eternity. As Paul thinks about his suffering, which was great and growing, he describes it this way as light and momentary. The reason for this description is because of what Paul was using it as the objective comparison. He says it's light and momentary compared to the weight of glory that God was preparing for him through his suffering. Romans 8, verse 18 reads, for I consider that the sufferings of this present time are not worthy to be compared with the glory which shall be revealed in us. 1 Peter 1, 6 and 7, he says, in this you rejoice, though now for a little while, if necessary, you have to be grieved by various trials, so that tested genuineness of your faith, more precious than gold that perishes, though it is tested by fire, may be found to result in praise and honor at the revelation of Jesus Christ. I like the way the Message version puts out verse 7. Pure gold put in the fire comes out of it proved pure. Genuine faith put through suffering comes out proved genuine. When Jesus wraps this all up, it's your faith, not your gold, that God will have on display as evidence of his victory. As human as we are, when we suffer, our natural reaction is to focus fully on the suffering. But what Paul understands is that there is more to look at than the problems. While he doesn't ignore the suffering, he finds hope as he fixes his gaze on the things that cannot be seen, the things of eternity and the eternal work of God through his suffering. Can you, like Paul, gaze at the eternal things? Be blessed.